Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back again doing your December 2015 monthly tarot horoscopes. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Capricorn. Um, and I am wearing my lovely deer antlers and my little heart earrings for everyone. And I want to thank you guys so much for being so supportive on my channel and being my biggest fans. I really appreciate it. You and Aquarius are very neck and neck with the with the likes and the shares and all that. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I am telling everybody, my big announcement is I am doing a giveaway. Once I reach 10,000 subscribers, I will be picking one lucky person who's scheduled with me. It has to be a new client to be refunded their money for a free reading, and I am going to be sending them a $10 Amazon gift card, which if they want to pick at something else, so say they want like a gift card to JCPenney or they want a gift card to Nordstrom's or something, that can be done, okay? So you guys will have to let me know, whoever it is that I pick will have to let me know if that's, what it is that they want, but yeah, I just picked Amazon because it's, easy. So anyways, here we go for the reading. This is for everyone again with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Capricorn. And let's see what we get for you guys for the month of December 2015. I am not doing my mid-December videos, so you guys will have to email me for private readings if you'd like a private reading. In December, I will not be available Christmas Day and New Year's Eve. But I will be working around those days, okay, and available around that time. So, So you have some interesting cards, Capricorn. I'm just going to kind of jump in with some of the issues that I feel like are going to be happening later in December, mid to end of December, okay? There is a certain level of frustration and that's going on. Now, you may be in a relationship with a Gemini, or there may be a Gemini in your, surroundings. It could be a Gemini friend or relative, or it could be just someone around you. Okay, but there's an element of fear, which is this being afraid of getting hurt. Okay, and this is what's coming in from the outside. This is someone who's afraid to get hurt. It could be you in the sense where you are Capricorn, not at that phase in your life where you don't really want to get hurt again. You don't want to be dealing with bullshit. You kind of just want to like cut through the cat crap, and you just want to like have a good relationship. And your attitude is frustration towards the end of December. Okay, frustration with relationships. This could be frustration with a specific person. This can be sexual frustration. Just feeling like for whatever reason you're not getting ahead. This could be, I want to say, with a partner. Some of you have kids. Some of you have a couple of kids. If you are married, this is with your romantic partner. If you are single, this is either sexual frustration or just stress. There may be just some stress you're feeling about things towards the end of December. And I want to say I pulled some other cards. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I kind of bop around in different areas of the spread, whatever is drawing me in. And these two cards in sort of mid to late December, what's kind of going on. These are the issues. Being afraid of getting hurt, number one, and stress, frustration. Those are the two things, okay? If you weren't afraid of getting hurt, the universe would I want to say send you a new relationship. There would be a period of time where you'd be focused. The universe wants you to focus on your health, on having healthy relationships, or on your health in general. You may be very focused on your health, okay? But the universe would send you a new relationship, the Lovers. You got the Lovers. So some of you, there's some delay. I want to say there's some delay in, because you also have the Nine of Wands. Maybe this is what you're waiting on. Maybe some of you are waiting on a real relationship, real commitment, real partnership, real love. But there's some delay, and maybe the reason you're frustrated is because there's this delay, you know? But delays are okay. Delays mean that it's like the pot hasn't boiled yet. And the best thing for you to do when the pot hasn't come to a boil yet, is step away from the pot and go do something else and distract yourself with something else that will take your mind off it. It also could be where you're not quite ready for a relationship, or you're not quite ready to jump back into the fray, you know? There could be some element of family drama here. So this could be also family related in some instances. Maybe some issue with parental figures, or just older relatives, I want to say. Older relatives. There's patterns here. There's patterns of fighting and arguing. There's patterns of... And I feel like maybe the reason you're afraid to get into a relationship, or you have some fears going on, worst case thinking, negativity, minds spinning into worst case scenarios, is because this is a pattern that you were raised with. This is childhood patterning. You're afraid maybe of a relationship because maybe your parents didn't have that great a relationship. Or even if they did have a great relationship, there was other people in the family that was fighting a lot. There may have just been, you may have had a very difficult childhood. You may have had a very difficult upbringing in some instances. Or there just may be some level where you are frustrated in December with life. Not just with anybody, just with life. Maybe you're irritable. To me, this is irritable. This is frustrated. This is, being worried about things. Mind being spinning into worst case scenarios, but not for any particular good reason. I don't necessarily feel like there's a good reason for you to be, unless there's specific people. There may be, some of you may not even have people that are specifically driving you crazy, okay? But for some of you, there may be, okay? For those of you where there's not people, it's just you're frustrated with life. Frustrated with life and the process. And you want to get ahead, but you can't because there's delays. It's tough. It's kind of a tough place to be. And then, some of the frustration may come from financial issues. Frustration with money. Maybe you don't have the money that you thought you were going to have. Maybe you've spent a lot of money. Maybe Christmas is stressing you out, For those of you who, Capricorn likes to be the provider. If Capricorn doesn't have, and this is the tough part, enough money to provide for everyone, they get stressed out, or if they want to be giving, they want to be, show their appreciation through a physical, material way. So if they can't buy the new couch that they wanted, or if they can't buy their kids, all the gifts that they really wanted for them, they get frustrated. There's some level of stress. It may be about the kids. You may have some kids, for some of you, who are difficult. They may have health problems, You may have, I want to say some of you have, an autistic child, okay? For those of you who don't have kids, this is not applicable to you at all. But somebody has, I want to say, I don't even know what this is, really what it's about, Asperger's, I've heard of that, but that's coming to me. Again, I'm not a doctor, so I can't really tell you more about it, but I can just tell you that's what's coming to me. Syndrome, the Asperger's syndrome. There's someone who has a very tough situation at home, and this is stressing you out, and this is causing you, to me, it's you may be very fearful and worried about their health. You're very, very worried about your kids. Some of you are. You need to stop worrying about them because it's only sending them negativity, and it will make things worse, okay? I know it's hard to tell a parent not to worry about their children. I mean, it's one of the things that comes with being a parent, but you have to get your mind off of it. You have to do other things that focus your attention elsewhere, so that you're not obsessed about it. I feel like there is some level of obsession here. The Four of Pentacles also to me is about just, those of you who don't even have children, you may be overly penny pinching. You may be overly counting your quarters. When you're worrying about every single last dime, and you need to get over that, because it's not a healthy energy for you. In a way, you need to be more giving, or you need to be more open to the possibilities. Maybe kind of close down a little bit in December, where it's like you've shut the operation down, you've shut everything down. You're like, no, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay home, or I just want to do whatever. And you're frustrated about maybe not being able to do that. Maybe some of you want to go on vacation and you can't for whatever reason. There's financial things. The miser can be anyone from somebody who's very, very wealthy and have a ton of money, they just don't want to spend it, or to someone who's really, really, really poor, who's basically homeless, who has very, very little. For those of you who are in that place of stressing about money, you need to also distract yourself and go out and be social. I know it sounds crazy, but you need to go have some fun. You need to blow out, let your hair down, have some fun, blow off some steam. Do things that are fun, where you're not focused on money and you're not focused on your stress or frustration. This is what's going to help you bring more money in, actually, through networking, because you have the Three of Cups. So some of you do need to network. Some of you need to network and talk to other people. If you are looking for a job, or if you're frustrated about finances, you need to ask people what they're doing for money. How do they make money on the side? What can you do to make money on the side? Getting a second job, getting a third job, whatever it is that you can do to bring more money in, you need to focus on that rather than focusing on counting all of your pennies and quarters. And so do it in a healthy way, okay? Some of this is, to me, not even financial. Some of this is just you being shy, you not really wanting to be open to things, you're resistant to things, you're clinging on to the past in some way, clinging on to a situation or the past. You may have some Scorpio in your chart. You may be involved with the Cancer or Scorpio. There's an element of clinging on, okay, of not wanting to let go. And it could be financially related for some of you, and to me, it's not financially related at all for others. But the solution is going out and having fun. The solution is networking. The solution is having friends, spending time with friends, doing fun things, being social, and starting over. You need to lay the past to rest, okay? You need to start fresh. If there is an element of rehashing here, you may be afraid of getting into arguments. For whatever reason, you may have had a very stressful past, several relationships, or just a stressful past. And for those of you, you may not necessarily want to get back into the fray. You just need kind of like not really wanting it, or you may be feeling like quite shy, like you're just not wanting that stress. Some of you may not really want extra responsibilities either. Some of you may have a lot on your plate and not want other responsibilities. But you need to lay the past to rest. You need to finally come to a place where you're saying, you know what? I'm over that. Not every relationship is going to be like that relationship. Take every single situation as it comes, rather than worrying so much that it's going to turn out bad or it's going to turn out to be terrible. It's actually interesting because I had a similar situation happen just before my new roommate Ted moved in, and I love my roommate Ted. He's awesome. But before he moved in, I had a complete nervous breakdown because I was like thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have yet again another crazy roommate from hell, And I was just like, I just can't handle it. Maybe this is a sign from God, I'm supposed to live alone, I just was freaking out. First of all, because I requested a girl, and they gave me a guy, they gave me Ted, But it turned out that Ted is awesome, and I love Ted so much. So I just, I wouldn't trade Ted. I tell Ted I wouldn't trade him for all the roommates in China. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't. He's just the best. So you never know how things are going to turn out, Capricorn. Again, you may be having a total meltdown because you're not getting what you think you want. but it might actually turn out to be better than you thought, you know? And, you know, again, not every relationship is the same. So if you're afraid of getting into a relationship because you've been in sucky relationships in the past, the universe, I feel like, is trying to send you romance. It's trying to send you a real relationship, a real partnership. But for whatever reason, you're scared to get into it. Maybe because, again, family upbringing, family childhood, because of family. Don't let family stop you from getting into something that's good for you, okay? You need to let go of the past. You need to let go of your worry and your fear and whatever has happened to you in the past. I'm not saying you can't forget it completely, obviously. You know, you take your memories with you, but I would say don't make it a habit where you're shutting things down because you're scared. Or you're scared of something that's going to be repeated. I don't feel like it's a repeat situation. I feel like it's just something that's going on with you right now. And some of you are thinking about moving or traveling. You do have this in the position of emotions, which is some of you are buying a house or selling a house or doing something with property. Some of you are in real estate, okay, because you do have the Two of Wands as the outcome. So to me, that's real estate. But some of you may just have properties. You know, Capricorn to me is the person that has multiple properties. Is someone that has the empire. You know, they own the empire because that's what they want. They ultimately want to have multiple properties. They want to have that security that if one should fail, the other one's prospering. You know, so it's like the Capricorn is the definition of like a diversified portfolio. You know what I'm saying? Capricorn doesn't just want one, you know, stock. They want all the best stocks, you know. Good time for investments, but you're going to have to worry about penny pinching. You're going to have to worry about not worrying about money, letting that worry go. And stop, you know, your fears, all of your fears, maybe about worry, about family, about kids, about da-da-da-da, whatever it is, romance, all that stuff. You need to flush those worries down the toilet, okay? Let it go. Be positive. Go out and have fun. And so the Two of Wands is also about coming to a point in time where you have reached the top of the world. You're sitting on top of the world. This is power and achievement. This is the Capricorn journey. You may be very focused and very goal-oriented on that destination, but there's a lot of obstacles to getting to here. Okay, so I want to say there are lessons and things for you to learn before you reach this point. You are blocked from reaching this point because of your frustration and fear. Should you be able to overcome your frustration and fear, you will be you'll be sitting pretty on the top of the world, looking out over everything and all of the things that you've done and really feeling really great. Understand, Capricorn, that you really you're very goal-oriented and you are on a journey that has many obstacles and challenges, more than pretty much any other sign. Understand that these challenges are teaching you things that maybe other people don't have to learn, but you can share with them. And these are gems. These are things that you will cherish later. Okay. Be grateful for the process. Understand that it is a process. Be grateful for that, so that when you will have arrived, it will mean something. When you are sitting on top of the world and things are looking up with your career, things are doing, you know, you've got that amazing job, or things are going really, really great, you'll appreciate everything that you have because you really earned it, because you went through hell to get it, you know. It's like it's sort of different if somebody hands you $100 or whether you going out and making $100 yourself. It just is a different feeling. And so this is you making it your own because you worked for it, and you appreciating those gifts and those lessons. Now, that's what's happening towards the mid to end of December. Now, beginning of December, things aren't as challenging, although you may just feel kind of overwhelmed with things on your plate or responsibilities, things piling up. This can indicate a guy who got scared or running for a guy or person who's ran for the hills, although I don't feel like it's a person. I feel like it's really just things, you kind of feeling like you got to beat the world up with a stick, like maybe you just can't quite get everything done that you need to get done, you being very busy, having a laundry list of things you got to do, got to buy, got to go, and you're just very, very, very busy. And I want to say for some of you, this is like a fox in the henhouse situation where there's a stir-up. You know, maybe you're stirring the pot or there's a stir-up of some kind, or that you may feel like you're under attack by a lot of people, or there's like people are kind of like coming at you. They're like kind of coming at you with they're like somebody who's like biting your heels. Like you have like a lot of dogs all trying to bite at your heels at the same time. So it's like a lot of little dogs, you know what I mean? It's almost like as if, you know, you're surrounded by like 100 chihuahuas. Like each person was like a little chihuahua, and that little chihuahua was about to bite your heels, you know? And you beat one off, but then you got another one coming, and then you beat that one off, and then you got another one coming from a different angle. So it's sort of like you may feel like you have your guard up. You may need to have your guard up because there's a lot of stuff happening beginning of December, which is on the negative side. Not impossible to deal with, but it just may be annoying. You may just feel a little bit annoyed in the beginning of December. You know, just annoyed. It's like that, you know, like a horse that's constantly flicking its tail because there's flies around it. It's just annoyed, you know. You can, you know, it's not really affecting the horse too much. It's just annoying the horse, that's all. You have a really good foundation, which is the King of Swords, which is what I like to see. Interesting that he's in this position. I always find it interesting when a card that to me is somebody who's very, very high up is on the bottom. Which means you are really literally supported in spirit like 100%, okay? Your deceased loved ones and angels and guides are around you. And to me, I want to say 24/7. You may be very spiritual. You may be very much in touch with your guides. And you may feel very much loved and supported by them at this time. In the recent past, you got the Ace of Wands, which is passion, okay? And again, this goes along, it's tying with the 5, the Ace and the 5. So there could be tricky people around you, tricky situations, family, competition, jealousy, petty stuff. You know, just like stuff. Not like the worst, but just The Ace of Wands, if it ties in with a person, can be, you know, passion for that person, passion in a relationship. You just may be a very passionate person, Capricorn, or you may have a lot of fire in your chart somewhere, okay? I always feel like Capricorns have an inner fire. It's like that inner volcano, that sleeping volcano. You know, the Earth has the fire in its core. So it's just like, to me, that's the Capricorn. So Capricorns have a passion and a desire more than a lot of other people do. They might have more passion and desire, stamina, you know, and I'm going to wink here, okay? Capricorns have stamina, okay? Why? Because they have that inner passion. And they have that drive. They have that desire, which a lot of, you know, even fire signs may not have the stamina that Capricorn has. A Capricorn has a kind of stamina it's almost unmatched, you know? Let me know if I'm wrong there, but I want to say it's almost unmatched. The Scorpio comes very close. But to me, they're different. The Scorpio is like the kind of energy that like wants to take it all, like won't stop until it gets to the very bottom. Will keep digging even when all its fingernails are gone, the shovel is broken, and they're in the dark. They'll dig the tunnel from the United States to Australia. That's the Scorpio. They dig the tunnel for the sole purpose of learning and understanding more, or having more and more sex. Like if they're never really satisfied. But it's a different type of vibe than the Capricorn's stamina. The Capricorn's working hard to get somewhere, whereas Scorpio doesn't really care if they ever get. I mean, they are trying to get to the bottom, which they almost never will. So similar energies, but different. The Scorpio to me wants to possess, whereas the Capricorn just wants it to be good. I don't know. That's the difference. That's the difference in energy. So sex wise, I feel like they're different energies. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're similar. Different purposes though. The Capricorn's trying to get somewhere, and eventually they do. Okay, the Scorpio may never. Okay, so. So they're different. Anyways, okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles crowning you, which is the student, is the person that's, thinking about going back to school. This is the beginning of the new. This is Fertile Myrtle. This is the person who wants a child or is thinking about children. She's dreaming about comfort and stability and security. She needs to feel secure. And the way she feels secure is through material comforts, okay? Creature comforts. So nice sheets, nice bed, beautiful car, a nice house, nice home-cooked meals. These are the things that this Page of Pentacles likes. The problem with the Page of Pentacles is, and I feel like this to me is you, Capricorn, for those of you who are younger Capricorns, because we got the Queen of Pentacles, which is the older Capricorn here as well. So this could be a mother-daughter situation. Both of you could be Capricorns. But I feel like for the younger Capricorns that are watching, you are the Page. Maybe you're still in school, you're still in college, you're thinking about getting a job, you're thinking about what comes next. Maybe you're thinking about a new relationship or a new course of study or something new in your life. Whereas the Queen, her ideas have matured, okay? So instead of the seed, it's really blossomed into a plant. And she carries that plant with her. And she's very connected to Mother Earth. She's overcome her need for materialism, but because she understands what true abundance means, okay? So she doesn't have to have anything, but she has a lot because she's grateful to have it, and because she's worked hard to get it, and because she's, I want to say older and wiser and mature, and determined. She's been determined. To me, this is maturing. This is like growing. This is maybe growing up in some ways. So again, we have the younger Capricorn female with an older Capricorn female. But the Queen of Pentacles may not necessarily be the Capricorn, although I do see it as being you. It can also indicate a Leo, Cancer, could even be Scorpio, which is interesting. I don't normally get that, but could be Scorpio female, Cancer, Virgo, Taurus, Sagittarius, Aries, female. Could be male. I don't usually see it as the Queen of Pentacles usually isn't male, although if you're somebody who cross-dresses, or if you're somebody who's transgender, or if you're somebody who is very feminine, then this could be you as well. Just a very feminine male. But most of the time I see it as being a girl. Older Capricorn versus the younger Capricorn who's still trying to come to terms with what she wants. You know, to me, my younger self was never satisfied. All the shopping in the world, I could shop for like 7 or 8 hours and I would still not be satisfied. No. Then that's the young Capricorn. If you're a young Capricorn female, message me. Now it's like I go to one store and that makes me happy. If I don't go shopping at all for some time, I go a little bit crazy. But when I moved here, like I didn't go shopping for like 6 months. Not at all. That was a dry spell. That was a really hard dry spell. And the thing is when I go shopping, I don't necessarily spend any money. I just like to go look. I like to go see what's out there. I like to bop around. But the younger version of me, no. I needed to live in a city. I had to live in a city so that I could go shop, so that I could go out there. And then I was just like the Cookie Monster of materialism. So I'm going to do a hashtag Cookie Monster of materialism, young Capricorn, okay? But to me, you know, the older Capricorn, to me this is you having really achieved a lot of prosperity and happiness. This can indicate pregnancy for both ladies, okay? Younger Capricorns, watch out for pregnancy. Older Capricorns as well, watch out for pregnancy. You know, even in your 40s, even in early 50s, okay? This can indicate pregnancy for some of you. Not for everyone, obviously, but they're both there. To me, the Page of Pentacles may be you recently got pregnant and maybe this was recently, and then maybe by the time you're watching this, you're several months in. You know, there's some time thing going on. Some time thing. You may be looking back and realizing everything you've learned, you know. You can send love to your younger self. So if you send love, I do this all the time. I send love to myself in the future and I send love to myself in the past. And it is so really fun to do that because I always feel really good about it. So it's something that you might want to do. And if you haven't read my video on the love letter yet, you should definitely check that out. So these are positive energies that are around you in the beginning of December, with the exception of this family situation or competition or jealousy or issues. You know, little things have piled up. It's mostly connected with this past issue. I don't necessarily feel like it's like it's something where it's not something that's hitting you now. Like, it's not like a traffic ticket. To me, this is many traffic tickets that have happened. But that's if you're messaging, you got a lot of traffic tickets. But this is like things piling up. Things building up. Okay, so you got to watch out, Capricorn, for your temper at the beginning of December, because we are in Sagittarius, soon to be in Sagittarius, so, which is fire. So you may see a little bit of some temper, shows of temper from if you have any Capricorn children, or again, because you have this page here, there may be some child in your life that's young. You can even have like teenage children or someone who's going off to school, because again, we have the school thing. I thought I saw a bald eagle, but I'm not sure if it is. I do see them. You can see them quite often in Washington State. So I was checking. It is an eagle, though. It's a very big eagle. It may not be a bald eagle, but it is a very big bird. Just in time for Thanksgiving. Anyways, so that is what I have for you. That's all that I'm seeing. You do have the Hierophant here, which is counsel. So some of you maybe are the counselor. Maybe this is you talking to a counselor, getting some older, wiser advice. Again, in a way, you have a lot of knowledge, and I feel like in some ways you are becoming the teacher. So embrace that teaching ability, because I feel like Capricorns do make great teachers. They're very grounded. They think practically. They're bottom line type of people. They don't bullshit any bullshit that's going on. I feel like it's just temporary. It's not going to last. You're going to move through that kind of phase into a place. I feel like mid-December feeling really very good. Very, very positive. Because the Queen of Pentacles, whether you're a guy or girl, is prosperity, is abundance, is feeling like you've gotten somewhere. It is later in December where your issues, maybe with relationships, are kind of creeping up. And it's you holding yourself back. So if you're open to the new, you're not resistant to change, if you're not getting sucked down in downward worst case scenario thinking, if you go out and you spend time in your social, I feel like good things are going to be happening. And it will shift the energy into a positive outcome for sure. So I wish you all the best. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will send you big hugs, big kisses, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Thank you guys so much, and have a good one. Take care.